Hi students, today we are going to start a new chapter chemical bonding in our physical science. That is the part 1 we are going to discuss today. So as the name suggests, chemical bonding, what does it mean? And what is the importance of a chemical bonding in the context of chemistry, and what is the criteria behind the elements, or what is the criteria behind the chemistry which makes the elements to be bonded together to form a molecule or to form a compound. That is what we are going to discuss, and what is the reason or what is the main criteria which is making the elements to be together and to form a molecule or a compound, and why some elements are able to bond and why some elements are not able to bond. What exactly happening to form the bonding and what exactly happening to not having the bonding between the few elements. That is the agenda of this today's topic. So before going to discuss that, we are going to talk about few terminology. We are going to learn about some terminology. That is, what is an element first. First we will discuss about the element, and next we will talk about molecule. And next we talk about what is meant by compound. See, there are some prerequisites. Before entering into the main topic, we are going to learn some prerequisites which will help you to understand some concepts in detail. And this chapter again is going to repeated in your intermediate level, and this chapter will help you to understand the carbonates compound lesson and principles of metallurgy. Some discussions in the principles of metallurgy and some discussions of 12th chapter, that is carbonates compounds also, which will help this chapter. So pay attention in this regard. Now what we are going to talk about, see, what is an element? So if that is the first thing that we want to define now. See, element, if you talk about element, see, element our element is the basic form of any matter or any substance which cannot be broken down or decomposed into similar forms or same substances by physical or chemical means or reactions. So this is the definition of the element. See, an element is the basic form of any matter or any substance which cannot be broken down or decomposed into similar forms or same substances by physical or chemical means or chemical reaction. That is the element. In short, if we define the element is the base building block of chemistry. Okay, it is a substance where it cannot be further broken down into the similar substances by any physical or chemical means. Examples of, okay, and if you talk about the elements, we have 118 elements in the chemistry. Okay, for example, if you discuss oxygen, it's an element, iron is an element, carbon is an element, copper is an element, aluminum is an element, magnesium is an element, zinc is an element, cobalt is an element, silicon is an element. There, even gold is an element, silver is an element, okay, mercury is an element. These are the elements which are called as basic forms of a matter or the building blocks of chemistry. Okay, in today's date, as per the today's date, we have 118 elements were discovered till now, and each and every element is going to possess their individual characteristics and properties. Fine. So, element is the base building block of chemistry, or element is the basic form of any substance, the basic form of any substance, which cannot be further divided into the same forms, into the same similar forms. That is the element, basic form. Okay, or the initial form, or the starting form, or the base fundamental form of any substance is called as an element. Is it good? Now, if we are getting confused about elements, suppose if we are getting confused about the elements, just we are going to map. It's not exactly the meaning what I'm going to say. I'm just mapping the concept of elements in the chemistry with the concept of alphabets in the English language. See, as we have 26 alphabets in English. So if anyone asks what is an alphabet, see, that is a base building. This is a base fundamental building block of the English, right? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. These are the base fundamental forms or fundamental building blocks of the English language. Okay. In the same way, whenever we talk about the element, it's a basic form of any matter or any substance which cannot be further broken down, okay, into the similar forms by any physical or chemical mean. That is called as element. Okay. Now, as we compare, we have 26 alphabets in English, we have 118 elements in chemistry. Done? Okay. Now, we are going to discuss about what is a molecule and what is a compound. It's not much difference. It's not much difference in the compound, and it's not much difference in the molecule. There is a similarity, but to classify them, I am using this terminology. So, molecule. When I talk about the molecule, the combination of two or more elements or the combination of the atoms of two or more elements gives the compound. Okay. For example, a combination of two or more atoms of elements gives the compound. In the same way, the combination of two or more atoms of similar element or atoms of same, more precise, same element gives the molecule. Okay, the combination of two or more atoms of the same element gives the molecule. The combination of two or more atoms of the different elements in more precise, atoms of different elements gives the compound. For example, if I take the molecule example, see oxygen. If I take the element oxygen exists in a diatomic state. In 9th class we learned that oxygen exists in a diatomic state. That is nothing but the molecular form of oxygen is O2. It is in diatomic state. That is nothing but two atoms of oxygen are going to be bonded. Two atoms of oxygen are going to be bonded to form the oxygen molecule O2. Subscript 2 we are going to write. It shows that O2 shows that two atoms of oxygen are chemically bonded to exist in the molecular form. And for example, if I take the atom of sodium and the atom of chlorine, if they are bonded together, atom of sodium and atom of chlorine, they are bonded together, we are going to get a sodium chloride. It is a compound. The atom of sodium and the atom of chlorine, they get bonded to form a molecule. Actually, it's a molecule to form a molecule of sodium chloride. But as it have the two different elements, we are going to give a special name as a compound. Okay, so this is a sodium chloride. Sodium is bonding with chlorine, or sodium and chlorine both are bonded to form a molecule. That molecule we are calling more precise as a compound. Is it okay, all of you? Now, the question is one element from among 118 elements, if you take one element, is it going to bond with all other 117 elements? That is one question. If so, what making that element to make the bond between all 117 elements? That is what is one more question. If that one element is not bonding with remaining 117 elements, and if it is going to bond only with the few elements from that 117 elements, what is the criteria behind that to bond with that special or bond with that specific elements only? Why the element what is been chosen from 118 elements is not able to bond with remaining all other 117 elements, where it can able to handle only few selected elements? What is the criteria behind that? What is the property or what is the logic behind that to make the existence of bonding with that elements is what we are going to discuss in this chapter. Okay, more clarity, to get more clarity about that. Again, I am just comparing the concept of formation of molecule and the formation of compound, that is bonding of elements or the atoms of elements is the main criteria or is the main fundamental concept to exist the molecule or to have the existence of compound. And the condition is that the main concept is that what is that making to bond that selected element with other elements, or why it is not able to bond with all remaining elements. That is what we are going to learn in this lesson. Okay, to understand that in more precise, I am just comparing it one more time with English. For example, if I choose alphabet A. Okay, if I choose the alphabet A cannot bond with B, or we don't have AB a word, okay, and we do not AC a word and AD a word, but among remaining 25 alphabets, the A will bond with some alphabet to give a meaningful word. For example, an, at, as. Okay, these are few words where A is bonding with some other alphabet to give a meaningful word. So what is the logic to have why A is not bonding with B, or why A is not bonding with D, or why A is not joined with E to give a new word? We don't have proper explanation. But in chemistry, we have a very good explanation about if you choose one element from 118 elements, that element have the ability to bond with some elements from the remaining 117 elements, but not with all the 117 elements. Okay, and why it is able to bond with only few specified elements, and why it is not able to bond with the remaining elements, we have a very good explanation in this chapter. Is it okay? I hope you are able to follow. And see, suppose for example, if anyone asks, suppose AP. Otherwise, suppose if you ask, if anyone asks AK, for example. Do we have any word of AK? Don't have, right? What is the reason why AK is not existing? We don't know. But in chemistry, we have an explanation. Okay, this is as the word, the combination of alphabets is giving a word, giving a new thing that is called as word. The combination of this, as we are calling as word. In the same way, the combination of elements or the atoms of elements, if it is the similar type, we are calling as molecule. If it is of the different type, we are calling as a compound, special name. Is it okay? Now, what makes that to have a bond? That is what we are going to talk now. Okay. Now, before going to talk about what is the criteria or the logic behind to have a bond, the combination, how this combination is going to exist, how a sodium can able to bond with chlorine, or how a chlorine can bond with sodium, why and how the sodium can able to bond with some more elements, and why the sodium cannot bond with the some more elements. That is the agenda of this today's topic. Okay, and one more thing that today's topic we are going to discuss, it's a very important discussion, is that see, if you see some expressions in the chemistry, if you see some expressions or in the combinations, if you see some combinations of the elements in the chemistry or in your previous classes or in previous classes or some few in the second lesson and all, if you discuss, we were talking about the combination of the combination of elements, how the new molecule is going to form and all. Suppose general discussion, if you go with, suppose hydrogen H2O2, hydrogen is reacting with oxygen, the hydrogen is reacting with oxygen, or if you write in the statement form, hydrogen reacts with oxygen and produces water molecule. Okay, and produces water molecule. What does it mean? Actually, hydrogen is reacting with oxygen, or oxygen is reacting with hydrogen and forms H2O, the water molecule H2O. Now the question is, the chemical formula of water molecule is why it is as H2O. Okay, see, as H2 plus O2 is bonding, why it is not written as H2O2, or why it cannot be written as H2O, or why it cannot be written as H2O2. Okay, among these four combinations, why are we representing the formation of the water molecule due to the bonding of hydrogen atom and oxygen atom as H2O only? Why we are not writing it as H2O2? Why we are not writing as H2O? Or why can't we write as HO2? Okay, that is the question we are going to answer in this lesson or in this discussion. And moreover, suppose if I take the sodium chloride, sodium is reacting with chlorine, a diatomic molecule. Chlorine is also diatomic molecule. That means two atoms of chlorine are bonded together to exist in the diatomic state. Okay, oxygen is a diatomic molecule, hydrogen is a diatomic molecule, nitrogen is in the diatomic state. So that means diatomic, whenever I say diatomic, the atoms of same elements are bonded, two atoms of same elements are bonded to exist in the diatomic state. Two atoms of nitrogen bonded to have a nitrogen molecule, two atoms of chlorine are bonded to form the chlorine molecule. Okay, hydrogen atoms as hydrogen molecule, oxygen atoms as oxygen molecule. Now the question is, if the chlorine, the diatomic, which is available in the diatomic state in the nature, if it is bonding with the sodium, sodium is also one element from among 118 elements. Sodium is also one element. How the chlorine, if the chlorine is bonded with the sodium, or if the sodium is bonded with the chlorine, we are going to get sodium chloride, NaCl. We are going to get a sodium chloride, NaCl. In the same case, if the zinc is bonding with chlorine, we are going to get ZnCl2, zinc chloride, ZnCl2. See, in this case, same chlorine diatomic state is bonding with sodium. We are writing as NaCl. The same diatomic molecule chlorine, which is reacting with the zinc, we are writing ZnCl2. Now the question is, why are we not writing as NaCl2, and why we are writing, and this is correct and this is wrong, and why are we not writing as ZnCl, where it is being right in this case of sodium chloride, and why this is wrong and this is right? That is how to represent or how to write a chemical formula. Okay. For the compound which is formed, or the chemical formula, the representation of the chemical formula has some specific notation, and how does it has achieved? Okay, how the specific notation has been possessed by that molecule is what we are going to learn in this topic. Is it okay, all of you? I hope you are able to understand this this lecture. Now, so let us discuss in detail. If we continue our discussion, if you continue with our discussion, we have few more questions to be, not only this, there are few more questions to be answered. Suppose if you go to the page number 100 in the textbook, as per the textbook, if you open page number 132 or 30, page number 132 or 33 in some books, we have this periodic table. Okay, in this periodic table, the first element is hydrogen to this all remaining elements. My concept is hydrogen is able to bond. My discussion or my explanation means that if I select the hydrogen, among these remaining 117 elements, this hydrogen can able to bond with few elements to form the molecule or to form a compound. However, the hydrogen is not able to bond with some elements to form a molecule. What is the reason behind it? Okay. Now, for example, if I take sodium element number 11, sodium has the ability to bond with some elements in this among these remaining 17 elements, and it has the it does not have the ability, or if it will not bond with the few elements from this 117 elements. That means from the 117 elements, remaining 117 elements, it is going to bond with some elements and it is not going to bond with some other elements. What is the reason behind that? Why it is able to bond with some elements, why it is not able to bond with some other elements? What is the reason behind this conflict, or what is the reason behind this formation of the molecules, is what is the agenda of the lesson chemical bond. Fine? Is it okay, all of you? Now, not only that, we are going to talk about very interesting concepts also we are going to learn. See why there exists an attraction between the atoms of elements to be together to form a molecule or to form an element. See, suppose if I take the oxygen in the atom O2 form, that means atom of oxygen and one more atom of oxygen, they are bonded and they exist together to be in the form of oxygen molecule state. That means what is the force between the atoms of the two oxygen to be together, or what is the force of attraction between the two atoms of oxygen and atom of another oxygen to be together and to have the existence of in the molecular form? Or in the context of NaCl, okay, atom of sodium is bonding with atom of chlorine. Okay, that means there exists some force of attraction between the atom of sodium and atom of chlorine to make them to be together, and to be in the form of sodium chloride. What is the reason behind that? Or what is that force of attraction making that atom of sodium and atom of chlorine to be together? That is what we are going to learn in this lesson. Okay, so to further continue, a small discussion we are going with. Suppose take a salt in a shaker. Okay, there will be a shaker. Suppose while eating, when there is a less in the quantity of the salt, what we'll do? We will have small shaker bottle like this. Where there will be a cap and there will be small holes on the cap. There we will have salt in it. We'll shake the salt to drop in the. We'll shake the salt to drop in the curry. How much is required? We'll shake it. The salt particles will come. The salt is nothing but sodium chloride. The common name of the sodium chloride, NaCl, is chloride, or the common name is common salt. Sodium chloride is a common salt. See, when we shake that shaker to drop the salt, will that sodium atoms and chlorine atoms individually will fall in the curry, or will be falling in the plate? Not right. Okay, sodium chloride, the salt, that is nothing but sodium chloride, like a bond. It is sodium chloride like a specific one compound or one substance. It is going to be falling in the curry. Right? That means the bond between the atoms has some attraction force. This confirms the bond between the atoms has some attraction force. Okay, what type of attraction force? That we will discuss in detail later. That means as we are not getting separate sodium and separate chlorine atoms when we are shaking that sodium chloride shaker to drop down in that our plate, as it is not coming individual, as it is coming as a bond, that makes that confirms that there exists some attraction force. There exists something is working between the atoms of sodium and chlorine that makes to be together as a compound. Okay, that makes them to be together as a compound, and of course it might be that force. It might be an attraction force. Okay, it will be the attraction force. Now, what is making that the existence of the attraction force, which makes this sodium atom and the chlorine atom to be together to form that as a molecule? That is what we are going to discuss in this chapter. Not only the sodium chloride, not only the water molecule, we are going to generalize. We are going to generalize this discussion to understand the concept of formation of molecules and compounds by selecting one element from 118 elements, and how can it is able to have the existence of establishment of bonding with remaining other 170. Some elements it is going to bond, some elements it is not going to bond, that selected elements. What making the difference? That is what we are going to discuss already, as I mentioned. Now the thing is that where it is practically impossible for me or anyone to explain each and every, by selecting one element from 118 elements and checking that whether it is going to bond with the second element or the odd element, whether it is going to bond with the fourth element or up to 170 elements, it is where it is a practically a tough job. However, we are going to generalize. We are going to generalize our topic, and we are going to understand how it is happening, how the bonding is going to happen in between the atoms of elements to form the molecules or to form the compounds. So that is the bond in between the two atoms to make or to have them be together is an attraction force. That in more precise is called as a chemical bond. The attraction force is not logical, or we are not keeping a Fevikwik and to be have together. I have a Fevikwik and dropping together. It is not like that. Okay, that bond or attraction force or the bond between these two elements, the bond between the two atoms of two elements is chemical. It's a chemical bond. It's a chemical bond. Not physically some glue we are applying or not some Fevikwik we are applying between the two atoms to be together to form like a molecule. Some chemical bond or some chemical attraction force, some chemical bond is being taken place to have that existence of the molecule. How that is being taken place, that is the discussion in the next class. Okay, I hope you understood this discussion, a small introduction, but where it is a very much important and useful content. Okay, if you were confused, just revise it one more time slowly so that you will get master on this topic. Okay, this is the agenda of understanding of this total lesson. Okay, further we have so many discussions, very good discussions. I hope you understood this session. Thank you all of you. Keep smiling. Bye bye and take care.